Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Economies. And of course, today we'll continue on our study of the theory of production. In the last class, we ended with discussing about the scale of production. So today, we want to talk about it more elaborately. All right. Do not forget that these tutorials, these episodes are brought to you by the O3 Schools JAMB CBT Practice Application and WAEC also. Okay, so if you're preparing for a JAMB and WAEC and you do not want to write your exam twice, please ensure you get the application, all right, for both JAMB and WAEC, all right, and start immediately. You'll see how far and how well you will go. All right, so let us see a question from the O3 Schools app. This is a 2020 question number 20. 2020 number 20 pertaining to the scale of production. It said that the average cost starts falling as output increases, or when average cost starts falling as output increases, then A, it is called economies of scale, or it's A says economies of scales are occurring. B says diseconomies of scale are occurring. C says return to scale are occurring. D says technology is obsolescence. Okay, so if you do not understand the question, if you do not get it at all, okay, there's no need why you should be trying to look at question first. You should try and first of all know, and then you can answer questions. All right, please ensure you get the app. The app has everything you need to succeed in your exam. All the past questions for all your subjects are on the application. What's more, there's a classroom. The classroom has lecture notes. The classroom has JAMB syllabus. The classroom has study plan. You can create a study plan and it will merge all your syllabus for your subjects together, and then what create a study schedule for you, or a timetable for you to study. Okay, that means you can be able to finish your syllabus within the shortest possible time and start again. All right, because you should at least finish your syllabus 2 to 3 times before you say beat your chest and say you are truly ready for JAMB examination. All right, then what's more, there's a questions search feature. You can search for question according to topic, and the question that JAMB has set under that topic will come out for you to answer. Then lastly, also, and many more, there's also the UTME mock challenge. All right, the mock challenge is designed to, of course, put you in a competitive mode, and in that mock challenge, you will get used to JAMB past questions, JAMB likely exam questions. You familiarize yourself with how JAMB sets questions, and of course, place yourself in the place of an examiner and see how he thinks. Okay, and of course, you see a result release also after every challenge for both WAEC and JAMB. All right, so please ensure you jump on the application, activate it. Activation fee is less than the price of rice and chicken in a good restaurant. So please do not be stingy to yourself. Do not be stingy to your future. All right, please get the app, start immediately. Now, quickly, let's continue our discussion on the scale of production. So we have said that what firms that will produce what large outputs, that we term them to what to run what large scale of production. While term that was produce what small outputs. Okay, we say that what running under the what small scale production. Okay, and then we said finally at the end of that last episode, of course, that there are some cost saving advantages. Okay, cost saving advantage that firms enjoy. Okay, when they practice what large scale of production. Okay, and this cost saving advantages, all right, that what we call the internal economies of scale. Okay, the internal economies of scales. Okay, these are what? These are cost-saving advantages that firms enjoy. Okay, when they operate on a large scale. Okay, we call it internal economies of scale. Okay, like I'll go back again and say they are what? Cost-saving advantages that firms enjoy when they operate on a large scale. Okay, we call that internal economies of scale. So as a firm increases its scale of production or begins to operate rather on a large scale, they begin to enjoy many advantages. And these advantages are, so let us look at these advantages one after the other. Number one, fall in average cost of production. Okay, so this is one of the first and foremost important advantages that firms enjoy when they try to operate on a large scale. Okay, because For example, let me just make a small analogy. I think you can now try to relate it. All right. So if you go to where they sell things wholesale, all right, is it not cheaper than where you go and get it at retail prices? Okay, let's say you went to buy maca 1-1, then now buy the full pack of maca. Okay, or you went to buy biscuits 1-1, then now go and buy the carton. Okay, which one will be cheaper? It will be cheaper when you buy the carton, when you buy from where they sell what wholesale. Okay, so that is what happens here also when it comes to the scale of production. When firms are operating on a very large scale, okay, you see that what the average cost of producing one will reduce because they're producing very, very many. All right, they already have what a process for producing so many. So it will be more expensive to be producing what single units, okay, than what. Okay, it's more expensive to producing single units than the producing what a whole. All right, so they what enjoy a fall in the average cost of what of production. That is the first advantage that you should know about what the internal what economies of what of scale. All right, the cost saving advantages that firms enjoy when they operate on a large scale. Internal economies of scale. Please do not forget that. All right. So now number 2. Marginal / administrative economies. Okay, so because firms are operating on a very, very large scale, they have the financial power to get good administrative staff that can handle their firm very, very well. Okay, they have the financial will, all right, because they are a big firm already. They can pay for the best hands. Okay, so they enjoy marginal or administrative economy. These are another advantages that firms that operate on a large scale, or firms are internal economies of scale. Okay, firms are they are the advantages that they enjoy when they operate on a large scale. Then number 3, we also have technical or technological economies / technological economies. All right. So, of course, also enjoy technical / technological economies because apart from paying for the best hands, okay, they also have the best machines. They have the best bogo, anything that is just designed to make work easier. Okay, any new tech that is in vogue, that is used, that can boost productivity and efficiency. You see that the firm will be able to afford it. Okay, so they also enjoy technical and technological economies. Then number 4, research and development economies. Research and development economies. So large firms can produce a variety of products, okay, and give a lot of services out. Okay, because they have spent a lot of money. They have the financial power to spend money on research. Okay, so that is why they're able to produce a lot of products and services. Okay, they have spent a lot on research, and of course they expect that this research that they're spending money on will of course in turn lead to productivity, and increase efficiency of its staff, and even increase productivity. All right, so this is another important advantage that firms that operate on a large scale enjoy. Okay, so research and development economies. Then number 5, also have welfare economies. Welfare economies. Also, large firms can provide welfare packages, for their staff. Okay, unlike small firms. Okay, small firms say to send you go Lagos, now bus you go use night bus. Okay, some firms will say take along. Okay, but some big firms, of course, because they have the financial power, they can organize paid trips, they can organize seminars, they can organize even enjoyment packages are there. Okay, so they also enjoy welfare economies. Okay, firms that operate on a large scale, they have the financial will to take care of their workers. Okay, that's where the welfare economics is coming from. Then number 6, of course, financial economies. Financial economies. All right. Large firms can also obtain huge loans, large loans, okay, from financial institutions. And the reason why they can do this because they have enough collateral, okay, to back it up. All right, so they can easily get access to funding for research, for development, for welfare, for anything they want to go into, okay, because they have the necessary collateral, okay, to be able to acquire those loans, okay. So financial economics is also another advantage that large firms enjoy. Okay, then last number 7, we also have marketing economies. Marketing economies. Okay, all right. Also, large firms, they have a large marketing budget. Okay, so they can spend a lot of money marketing their products. Okay, I don't know if any of you know about Temu. Timu, okay, Abi Timu. Okay, Timu, we were told that when they came into the market, all right, they came in with what? With the marketing budget of about $2 billion. Okay, they came into the market with a marketing budget of about $2 billion. All those free gifts, all those things, they know what they are doing. Now, if you check you can never open your Facebook or your WhatsApp or go out there without somebody telling you about Tim, okay? Because they are a large firm, all right? They have a huge marketing budget, okay? So marketing economics is also something that they can that large firms would enjoy, okay? So take note of that. Then of course, we also have risk-bearing economies. Number 8, risk-bearing economies. Large firms can involve themselves in risky business ventures to make huge profits. You know, they say now risks. Now, if you don't take any risk, they don't want to make money. Okay, so large firms, they have that propensity to engage or to involve in taking risk. All right, for them to make huge returns or huge profits. So these are all the advantages that internal economies of scale, okay, that firms enjoy when these are cost-saving advantages that they enjoy when they operate on a large scale. One among all of them that are very important is fall in the average cost of production. Okay, they also talk about marginal or administrative economies. They can hire the best hands. Technical or technological economies, they can purchase the best machines, invest in the best technology to increase productivity. Then research and development economies, they can spend a lot of money on research, so to produce different products and services. Welfare economies, they can take care of their staff, organize paid trip, they can organize vacation, organize get together and so on, just to make a happy staff. It has an ability to produce more, to increase its productivity and efficiency. Okay, financial economies, they can access loan from top financial institutions because they have the collateral to back it up. Marketing, they can invest in a lot of marketing strategies, all right, to bring huge returns. Risk-bearing opportunities, they can take risk. They can take a lot of risk, okay, for them to have huge returns, okay? Because if they take risks, then it seems like we're not ready. So apart from all these advantages, okay, that large firms enjoy, okay, when they operate on a large scale, they also suffer some disadvantages when they operate on a large scale, okay? These advantages, we call them the internal economies of scale. Take note, okay? The advantage that large firms would enjoy when they operate on a large scale is called internal economies of scale, okay? Why the disadvantages that large firms suffer? The disadvantages that large firms suffer, okay? This one, advantages. Okay? This one is disadvantages. We call it internal. Please take note, internal diseconomies of scale. Okay, this one, they are the disadvantages that large firms suffer when they operate on a large scale. Internal disadvantages, internal diseconomies, internal diseconomies. Okay, the internal diseconomies, that the disadvantages that they suffer, while the internal economies, that the advantages that they enjoy. So let us quickly see some of these disadvantages. Okay, and also please, if you have not liked this video, what you are doing is very wrong. Okay, it's very, very wrong, because liking this video will make other students easily find this video. Okay, because it is helpful to you, it will be helpful to them. Please, why not like the video while you are watching right now? You don't even need to wait for the video to finish before you like. Okay, ensure you to subscribe to this channel. Subscription is free. It's just for you to get notification whenever we release a new video. And do not forget to share the link to your friends and your loved ones, okay? So they can easily find these videos. So we say that internal diseconomies of scale, they are They are the disadvantages that large firms suffer when they expand beyond their optimum size. Okay, so there are there's a specific size that is okay for a firm to be, so that it can keep operating efficiently. If that becomes too big, okay, there are so many issues that it can lead to. All right, and of course, these are what we call the internal diseconomies of scale. So instead of them to now start enjoying some advantages because they are big, they have now become too big, too over big, that it is now a disadvantage they are not going to be facing. So instead of cost-saving advantages, they're going to see saving disadvantages. Okay, they'll be seeing a lot of disadvantages. So these disadvantages are what we want to look at right now. So number one is a rise in cost of production. Number one, instead of fall in the average cost of production, we'll now be seeing a rise in the cost of production. Okay, so you now see that even small firms that are operating on a small scale, they are even producing goods that are even lesser in price than them. Okay, so it's just like say something by fire. All right, so we are trying to become big. You're now big over big. Let's say somebody that is proud before, now has money, but now have money. It gets to a point where that money will now lead to a destruction. Okay, it's just the same analogy. So a firm has an optimal size. There's a size, okay, that will say this firm has gotten to. Now say, this firm has reached its optimal size. The growth level is okay. And let us just manage this growth level. We are okay with the revenue and the output we are getting. Let's just stay at this level. If you decide to now go and over expand, okay, you will see that you will now be facing so many issues. So a rise in the cost of production. Then number two, there will be impersonal relationship, okay, between the directors of the firm, between directors and subordinates. Okay, so there will be impersonal relationships or communication gaps or issues, okay, between workers. Okay, you see that those lower level workers will be difficult for them to be able to communicate with those at the top. Okay, there will be a communication gap. There will be an hiatus created. Right, so this is another disadvantage of what we call disadvantage that large firms suffer when they begin to operate beyond their optimal size. Okay, then number three, rise in transportation costs. There will be rise in transportation costs. Okay, so this will be evident because the firm is already too big. So they'll spend a lot of money in transporting raw materials and other things from place to place. Okay, so transportation costs will just increase exponentially. All right, which is not even good in the long run. All right, then likewise, number four, difficulty in coordinating production. Number four, difficulty in coordinating production. Okay, you see the firm unable to coordinate production any longer. First of all, the communication gap, the rising cost of things. All right, they will be difficult. Too many workers everywhere is just full. All right, you will see that there will be difficulty in coordinating production. So instead of them enjoying advantages, they will not be enjoying disadvantages. Then lastly, number five, the size of the market. may fall, okay? The size of the market may fall, right? Because maybe possibly demand for defense product now reduces or falls. You see that what? All the output, all the things you have produced will now go to waste, okay? So when demand falls for defense product, you see that what? The products that they have all produced will go to waste, to be wasted, because nobody is buying them, nobody is demanding them. All right. So these are disadvantages, okay, that we call the internal, please take note of internal diseconomies of scale. All right. Let's go to now. Let's talk about external economies of scale. External economies of scale. All right. External economies of scales, they are the cost-saving advantages that firms enjoy when they localize. Okay? When they localize. And that now brings us to what we call localization. Localization of industries, okay? And of course, localization of industries is the coming together of different firms that are producing either similar or related commodities, okay? So when those firms come together, you see them enjoying what we call the external economies of scale. They begin to enjoy some advantages, okay? And these advantages are not far. Let us see some of them. Some of the advantages that they enjoy. Number one, what do I call them? We call them, I call that internal, we call this external economies of scale, okay? And what I say external economies of scale is, we say they are cost-saving advantage that firms enjoy when they localize, all right? And we say localization of industries is the coming together of different firms, okay, that are producing either similar or related commodities or products, all right? They come together and makes them to enjoy some advantages, okay? Some advantages, of which some are one, you see division of labor and specialization among the localized industries, okay, or firms. All right. So number one advantage, okay, you see division of labor and specialization among the localized firms. Okay, we'll talk about division of labor before, the breaking down of work into different stages, and at each stage is undertaken by specialists. Okay, so that's where specialization comes into play there. Right. So because you have already localized, have come together. Right. If you are producing this marker, who's producing the ink, who's producing the body, the plastic, you have localized. Right. To be easy. Okay, for you to see specialists work in all of those industries. All right. So that is one advantage. Number two, fall in transport of cost of raw materials, okay? Fall in transport cost of raw materials, okay, from one firm to another, okay? So as you're transporting raw materials from one firm to another, because you have localized and you are in the same locality, the same area, all right, you see that the transport cost will be sufficiently reduced. This is another advantage that firms that localize enjoy. What's more, number three, higher productivity. Number three, higher productivity. Okay, among the low productivity among localized firms. Among localized firms. All right, so this also brings or leads to higher productivity, because you are seeing, you guys are almost in the same area, you can communicate easily, right? There's no communication gap, right? You need this one, you quickly tell them, they bring it, transportation is reduced, leads to higher productivity. Okay, then also number four, quality and availability. Quality and availability of labor and supply. Okay, so quality and availability of labor and supply is also another advantage that they enjoy. Okay, there's quality, okay, and there's availability of labor, and if supply of material is constant, okay, because they are already localized, it becomes very easy for them to be able to transport or supply materials. All right, then the last one, employment opportunity. Employment employment opportunity. Okay, so those in those locality, people in those locality, and people from everywhere itself can get access to what, to employment opportunities. Okay, so these are advantages that we call what, the external rather, we call them the external economies of scale. All right, they are the cost saving advantages. Cost saving advantages, okay, that's what firms enjoy when they localize. Okay, localize. Please take note of that. So now let's quickly look at external diseconomies of scale. So that's why disadvantages that they enjoy, they also suffer some disadvantages when they localize. Okay, and that's what we call what, the external. We call that one external. What will that be now? Diseconomies of scale. Okay, this one, they are what? They are the disadvantages. Okay, that what? That they suffer, that firms suffer when they localize. If I'm not too busy, let's quickly look at some of these disadvantages and we'll be done with this class. Please like the video, subscribe to this channel, all right? And of course, ensure you copy the link, share to your class group, all right? So that you have been taught this topic in class before, you never understood it, now you're understanding it. Share the link to your friends and to your loved ones, okay? It will what? Be of great help to them. So some of the disadvantages that they suffer, as we have called, what we call them, we call it what? External diseconomies, okay, of scale. Okay, there are disadvantages that firms suffer when they localize. Okay, so let us see some of the disadvantages. Number one, greater interdependency. Dependency, okay, among firms. All right, so because they are localized, they are the same location, location. All right, they are completely reliant and dependent on those firms, okay, to give them supply, give them raw material and so on. What about if they now fail? Okay, so it is very, very possible that the firm is not able to produce, the one of the firms, okay, that have localized, they are not able to produce the raw materials that another one needs. Okay, so because of that over dependence, if there's a time frame for maybe goods to be supplied, you see that they will fail that timeline because they are completely reliant, they are completely dependent on that firm that they have localized with. So it leads to greater interdependence among firms. Then number two, structural unemployment. Number two, structural unemployment. Okay, this happens when there's a change. In demand for the firm's product. Okay, it leads to structural unemployment. All right, when there's a change in demand for the firm's product. Okay, then likewise, environmental degradation, because they are localized. Environmental degradation. Okay, so because they are localized, they're in the same area, you see that we're producing a lot of waste materials. Okay, so leading to environmental degradation. These are also disadvantages. Then number four, also have urban congestion. Okay, so you see that that area will just be will just be filled with people walking around, people looking for a job, people already working, and so on and so forth. So that place will be congested. Okay, we call it urban congestion or conurbation. Okay, so it's another disadvantage, okay, that they suffer when they localize. Then also it becomes a target for enemy attack. Okay, so when firms localize, okay, they becomes a target for enemy attacker, especially in times of war. Imagine, I don't know if some of you saw the NSAS protest in 2020. Okay, the Lekki, all right, you will see you see a ShopRite in Lekki. There's a ShopRite particular. In fact, many of the ShopRite in Lagos, okay, they had many eateries, they had fashion houses, they had electronic shops. All of them, they suffered. Okay, all of them, they collected. Okay, people carted with their properties and so on and so forth. All right, so they become a target for enemy attack when what there's what war or when there's what crisis. Okay, so these are also disadvantages that large firms suffer when they localize. Okay, so we call them external diseconomies of scale. So let us go to the school JAMB app. You will answer the questions and drop the answers in the comment section, and then we are good to go. So number one says the average cost starts falling as output increases. Then, okay, that is 2020, number 20, okay, which we're looking at from the beginning. They say the average cost starts falling as output increases. Then A says economies of scales are occurring. B says diseconomies of scales are occurring. C says return to scale are occurring. D says technology is obsolete. So when average cost of production is falling, okay, is it internal economies of scales or diseconomies of scales? Okay, so I'm sure you know that answer very well. All right, so you should pick the right answer and put it in the comment section. Number two, this is a 2010 question. Number 22. It says that the rising portion of the long run average cost curve of a firm, the rising portion of the long run average cost curve of a firm is an indication that it is experienced, okay, the average cost is increasing, okay. As the average cost is increasing, what does it mean? It means that what? They are suffering what? Some disadvantages. That is what we call the internal diseconomies of scale, okay. So they are suffering some disadvantages, okay, because the average cost is what is increasing, okay. If they are suffering what advantages, the average cost should be decreasing, should be falling, okay, should be reducing. But if it is increasing, that means they are not enjoying any advantage, okay. So A say increasing efficiency, B say economies of scales, C say diseconomies of scales, D says increasing marginal returns, okay. So pick the correct answer, put there for me. 2002 also, number 30 says the benefit that accrue to a firm as a result of an improvement in the industry it belongs to are called the benefit, that the advantage that firms enjoy, okay, when they as a result of improvement in the industry it belongs to are called what? A say internal economies of scale, B says economies of scale, C says market economies, D says external economies. Is it external economies or internal economies? Okay, look at it, improvement in the industry, okay, that should be what? Okay, you know the answer, put the correct answer there. So 2014, number 18, you see the way JAMB ask question, but they will not go direct. Sometimes they go very direct, all right, so you have to reason. It says that if the production cost of a large firm, the production cost of a large firm is higher than that of a small firm, then it is experiencing what? You know the answer. A says external diseconomies of scale, B says internal economies of scale, C says internal diseconomies of scales, D says external I will give an example, okay, of it while I was talking about one of the economies of scale. So please put the correct option there and ensure you put it for me to answer. 2011, we have 2011 number 18. It says a firm will experience diseconomies of scales when A says there are difficulties in coordinating production. Okay. B, there's shortage in labor supply. C, the size of the market is small. D, there's an increase in the price of raw materials. Okay. The correct answer is there, looking at you. Okay. So let's see two more. 2001 number 26. They say internal economies of scales are expected to bring about internal economies of scale. Those are advantages. So A says a decrease in the long run average cost. Okay. B says a decrease in the short run average cost. C says an increase in short run average cost. D says an increase in long run average cost. Okay. The answer is there, looking at you. You are looking at it. Very simple. 1995 number 10. They say the advantages which firms obtain directly from expanding their operation, as they expand their operation, are referred to as A say internal economies of scale, B says external economies of scale, C says economies of localization, D says economies of resource allocation. I'm sure you know the correct answer, okay? The benefit that they enjoy, the advantage that they enjoy when they increase their scale of production, okay? When they operate on a large scale. Is it internal? Is it external? You know the answer. So please, there are so many other questions on this application Please download the O3 School JAMB app today. Pass your exam at home. That is my goal. That's our goal. That should be your goal. Okay, if you want to succeed, get the app, start immediately. I don't care if you have every other app on your phone. This one is a must-have too. Okay, get it and start immediately. I'll see you in the next class. We'll talk about isoquant, curve, isoquant, and isocost curve. All right, so I'll see you there. Thank you for watching.